I am so glad you're here for another episode of Mastering Organic Synthesis. In the last video, I asked if you could come up with the synthetic route for this chemical transformation. So if you haven't had a chance, pause the video now and try it independently. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'll give you another problem to solve for our next video. For the first transformation, it may look relatively straightforward. However, notice that we have a methyl ketone on this side and a carboxylic acid, and ultimately all that's changing is you're taking that carboxylic acid and turning it into an ether. Importantly, however, many of the same types of reactions that can occur at carboxylic acids or different carbonyl functional groups will also occur at this ketone. Therefore, we need to consider the different conditions and things that we can do to potentially protect this group which doesn't appear to be changing. So the first step in this reaction is actually to protect this group using ketalization. So we can use a diol to form a cyclic acetal in order to protect this ketone if we use an acid and a diol. That's going to allow us to protect this functional group by placing a cyclic acetal at that position. So we're going to end up with a cyclic acetal which will not be susceptible to further transformations that we might be performing at our carboxylic acid position. So now that we have generated this product, we can start to attack this carboxylic acid. Notice that our final product contains a carbon and then an ether, and I know one way to very quickly turn this carboxylic acid into a primary alcohol. So if we use lithium aluminum hydride, for example, this will reduce the carboxylic acid and help us generate a primary alcohol. So most of the molecule remains the same. We have protected our previous ketone, which will make it not susceptible to reduction using lithium aluminum hydride, which is why we had to protect it in the first place. And now we're going to end up with just a primary alcohol at this position. From here, all we need to use is a base like sodium hydride, for example, and introduce it to a methyl iodide. So this will allow us to do a substitution reaction by first deprotonating the alcohol, making our alkoxide act as a nucleophile and do a substitution reaction here. And this is actually how we form our ether, but importantly, all of these other pieces with our cyclic acetal still remain in place. So once we have turned this into our ether, all that remains is to deprotect the cyclic acetal to give us our final product and reform this ketone. And the conditions for that are actually just an acidic workup. So using an acid is how we deprotect this acetal and turn it back into this ketone. So I wonder how many of you thought that this reaction was a little bit tricky, because what I'm looking for you to do is take this cyclohexane ring, which contains an alcohol and a ketone, regenerate it, but also generate another product. And of course, no organic chemist would do this because we could just go buy this acetaldehyde. However, I think the thought experiment is useful because it can help hone our synthetic skills. So one way that we could do this is by doing a Wittig reaction at this position, giving us an alcohol that has been turned into an alkene. So the classic way to do this is by taking a Wittig reagent. So in this case, we would need CH3, CH, and this is double bonded to PPH3, and this is how we generate a Wittig reaction using this phosphorus ylide that would turn this ketone into this alkene. And then the way that we can generate our final product is just by doing an ozonolysis, because remember, ozonolysis is actually the way that we cleave carbon-carbon double bonds, and what that's going to leave behind is at each of these positions, we're going to end up with a carbonyl group. So at both of these positions, we end up with an aldehyde and a ketone, regenerating our starting material, but also generating this aldehyde. In the next video of this series, I'd love to see if you could figure out the multi-step synthetic route to perform this chemical transformation. I'll see you in the next one.